Welcome to TUF Talk, the show where we break down The Ultimate Fighter episode by episode, every punch, every kick, and every meltdown. Whether you're Team DC or Team Chael P, you know this season's gonna be stacked, and we're here to give you our unfiltered reactions, predictions for next week, and a few shots along the way. So grab your favorite drink, lock in for the ride, and let's talk tough, because this is TUF Talk, where the fights are fierce, the takes hit harder than a knockout punch, and the conversation never pulls guard. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Nano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano. What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, TUF Talk. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. How we doing, big dog?
Let's go. Doing great, brother. Great to see you, as always, and great to be here with each and every one of you, whether you're listening live with us now or maybe you're playing it back. We appreciate you. Do what we always ask you to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and jump on into the conversation, man. Water's warm. Brother, how are you, man? How you feeling after that episode? What a fight and what a tough. Well, let's just talk about it.
Tough times, tough people, tough stuff. It was a great episode, man. I'm doing great. It was a great episode. I think you said it right before the show when we were chatting off air that this might be one of your favorite fights of the season. And I agree, man. This was a very, very hard fought fight. It was very closely contested. And let's just jump right into it, man. The episode started off with season 32 TUF winner Mairon Santos visiting the house. And of course, there was a bit of comedic relief instantaneously, right? The second he got there, he's like, "Oh, you look like my first opponent in the house." Like, that was just such a funny line, right? But it's also very interesting. Like, this is TUF 33. This is the guy that won last season, so he's very, very fresh off of that win. Oh, and by the way, the fight he was telling them to watch on Saturday, he won that fight. He's also won another one since then. Dude's on a bit of a run, as we call it. What were your thoughts on that stud, Mairon Santos, visiting the house, Nano?
Yeah, man, I thought it was fun. It kind of caught me off guard because I do remember watching the UFC Embedded episode way back when. And then now being reminded that not only was he coming in saying what's up to everybody, only a year removed is pretty cool to see. I don't know how often we've seen that done. But a little bit of cockiness still in him. He's got that dog, like you said. He's been active. He's been fighting. So you know he's going to come in and have that aura to him. And again, with the UFC Embedded crew behind him, I mean, what more of a flex, right? It's one thing to get asked there, but you got the cameras walking around with you. I mean, that's as real as it gets, right? So I thought that was really cool. Just as a fan, I thought it was exciting to see, and I'm sure it motivated all those boys in there to know that literally within 365 days, that could potentially be them. It was cool. And then seeing some of the highlights, getting reminded that he was the second to last pick in his season with Team Grasso. You know, we like a big underdog around here. So it was, again, cool to see him back in action and kind of get that fresh reminder of who he is, what he's been doing, and then shoot, man. I mean, it was, I think it really set the tone for the episode.
I completely agree. It definitely set the tone. It set the precedent, and it let us know that we were in for a bit of a wild ride, man. And I think it might be foreshadowing, right? Showing the guy that won last season coming into the house for this fight. I think Joe, aka what was it, Bobo? Like, I think he might get it done for the whole damn season, brother. Bobo's a real son of a bitch. And moving into the next scene, the very next scene, was Joseph Martinez, Bobo himself, looking sharp on the pads. Chael kept asking him to bring out Bobo, though, right? Like, don't be Joe. We need Bobo. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. The City Life Project. What's up, man? Hope you're having a great night. Love seeing you in the chat, as always.
Hey, LP, what it do?
He says, how does the UFC get away with 3-round scheduled fights but not pay the guys? Such BS. That is very interesting, right? Scheduled 2, then third to settle the score is fine for exhibition, but this shit is ridiculous. So are they not, to your knowledge, are they not getting paid at all for these? Because I thought they were getting paid like at least per episode or on a contractual basis for being on the show. Kind of like The Challenge, right? Like on MTV's The Challenge, if you've done multiple seasons, you get paid a lot higher. But if it's your first season, you get like, I think like $1,000 an episode for as long as you last, even if you don't win the big pot. So, I mean, it's not a lot, but it is something to add to the wages. I would assume there's got to be some type of stipulation there. Nano, what would you think on that?
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. CLP, City Life Project. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do or not. I guess it was my assumption that they were for even just being on the show. Who knows, right? I guess you just think, hey, it's the opportunity. But it is a 3-round fight. It's going to be is it a loss in Imanol's record? Like, it's sanctioned and everything, right? It's a true professional bout, I should say. Because if that is the case, I'd like to think if they're going to replicate it as a UFC fight, there should be some show money, a little extra money for a finish if that was the case, or for the winner. I'd like to think they're getting broken off. Who knows? Maybe Dana went and hit the tables, won a quick few $100,000 and slipped them a little check or something. I like to think Dana. I don't want to go on a Dana hype train here, but I'd like to think he takes care of them. But that is a fair point. I haven't even thought about that before.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're actually counted on their professional record. They're considered exhibition bouts.
I'm hoping they're getting some bread, though. Let's be honest. And with a good outing, someone like an Imanol, I'm sure we'll probably see him in the UFC. I think he'll get another crack at it, that's where the real money will be.
Commissions allow this, but won't allow real rules. That is wild, CLP. That is wild. I don't even think it is, man. That is crazy. If they're not getting paid at all, like any kind of wage for that, that is absolutely wild. And you're right. It's not counted on their professional record. It's a free fight. But hey, if your name is Imanol tonight, that's not such a bad thing, right? Because I would sacrifice a purse for a fight if it meant not having a loss on my professional record being 5-0. Fair?
Definitely fair. No, I'd agree with that. That's a good learning lesson. And you could keep that O, which is rare. You want to keep that as long as possible, especially in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, what are they gonna pay you for that kind of fight in TUF? Like 2K, 4K at most? They're paying a lot of these guys 8K to show and 8K to win. They're not going to give you more than their actual current roster.
Yeah, I mean, they're there for a while. Maybe they do get a little bit of a contract or incentives or base pay. I'm sure they're getting something. At a minimum, they're getting the notoriety. Maybe that'll lead to some brand deals. I say that reluctantly because, I mean, that's kind of few and far between. But, yeah, it was a fun fight. And, at the end of the day, it is great exposure for these guys and girls, whoever it is.
That's fair play. That's fair play, City Life Project. 2K does go a long way for these regional fighters. So even if it is 2K, facts. But like my point, the reason I was like downplaying that, even if it is 2K or 3K, is if you offered me 2 or 3K and I'm on the regional fight scene, or you offered me to keep my undefeated record at 5-0, I'm sacrificing the money. If I'm a regional fighter, chances are I've been sacrificing the money for some time to make my dream come true.
It's also like, even like looking at NIL and stuff, it's like for NCAA, for college football or college sports in general, actually, they have their own kind of way to make money. You would like to see that in the UFC as well. I mean, man, these guys.
I'm paying rent too, bro. I'm paying rent in San Diego. It's not fun, let me tell you. And yeah, my buddy actually fights in Lights Out, and yeah, the pay is not fantastic on the regional scene. I'm wholeheartedly aware. I had a boy that fought for Bellator, and again, not going to downplay anything, but I will just state again, being a professional fighter is tough. It's a tough nut to crack if you want to make a stack. You know what I'm saying? They're not all Conor McGregor's. That's the 1% or 0.1% in this sport. What is up, Western Mass Climber? Hope you're having a great night, brother. WMC. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So moving on in the episode, again, Joseph Martinez looked sharp on the pads. Chael kept asking him to bring out Bobo, and it was interesting to see, right, the dichotomy of kind of the guy versus the nickname that the guy has become. Like what were your thoughts on that? And I have a follow-up question on how you answer this as well.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts were it kind of reconfirmed everything we've seen from Joseph. I liked the training session. I like what Chael was saying, especially where just the little reminders of practice how you want to play. If you're going to be dipping and doing the Uriah Faber changing levels and hook and uppercut and things of that nature, you got to set it up. Practice how you're going to go in there and do it. Get that muscle memory down. I did appreciate everything he was saying, and then just the whole nickname, how he got it. It's kind of similar to how I got my nicknames growing up. Jive Turkey Nano. It's not my real name, Nano, there at the end, and it's wasn't able to say my full name, so that resonated. But he's polished, man. I mean, he does everything right. He applies it. He's got the right motivation too. You see the call with him and his family and everything. It's sweet. It's it hits home, and like we've talked about already, he has the pedigree. He's been in these situations. Comes in, he's like, I slept fine. It's like he just didn't really have those nerves. Felt right at home, which sometimes just that cool, calm, collected nature in someone. It's like they're carrying that big stick. So it was that kind of energy, and again, good coaching from Chael and good reminders, good game plan in terms of what they knew they were going to see from him and all. Knew he was going to be tough. I thought it was a little cocky, especially the way it ended up playing out. Bobo was saying, I'm going to go in there and knock him out. I'm like, dude, I don't. But then he caught himself. He's like, however, if he starts winning on the feet, I will go ahead and take him down. I'm like, all right, there you go. Smart man. Got to have a contingency plan in there. But what were your thoughts? And then I know you said you had another question for your boy. So lay it on me.
I was going to ask, and you kind of actually segued perfectly into it there to an extent. Did you get any nicknames? I know you weren't a professional fighter or anything like that, but you did play sports. Did you get a nickname playing sports? And was there a difference in kind of personified person or personalities when someone would say Nano versus the other guy?
Yeah, fair. I almost dropped it right there. Yeah, honestly, the one that came up early and my first thought was baseball. In football, no real nicknames, though. I transitioned from the punching bag on the football team to one of the hardest hitters that next year. That was a fun transition. But in baseball, because I was a fast pitcher, I was going to say good. I threw really hard, was not accurate with that thing. And speaking of things, there was a wild thing from an old movie in the 1990s, Major League. And it was good old Charlie Sheen in his prime there, and they'd bring in the closer. Wow thing. So that was one of my early nicknames on one of my sports teams, and that was a fun one. To your point, definitely channel that energy. Obviously, if you watch the movie, you would appreciate it. The glasses, the hair, but there is that sense of, at least for me, when I was on the mound, it was like, yeah, this is my game. Like I fully embody that. Like if someone stepped out the box, I'm going to step out off the mound and I'm going to make sure it's on my time. And, if I want to hit someone, I'm going to send a signal, right? They hit our guy, I'm going to go ahead and return the favor. Like everything about that was, that was wild thing, baby. Shit, to this day, gets me fired up thinking about it, baby. Day. Come on, to this day.
Let's go.
What about you, brother? What about you?
I mean, yeah, I was homeschooled, I'll be honest. I didn't really play a ton of sports growing up, but when I trained at AKA, I wore the Steve Rogers gloves. I had the Hayabusas you see behind me, but the Captain America version. I've got them in my gym bag, actually. I used to rep those, so they'd call me Cap, right? And anytime someone would be like, Cap, come on, you can do this all day. I'd literally be like, fuck, I can do this all day. I'd fucking just get that second win, bro. That super soldier serum would kick in, brother. And then I came to Victory MMA, and I'll be honest, man. The Steve Rogers Hayabusas, they're bursting at the seams, man. They got a couple threads bursting at the bottom. They scratch the fuck out of your forearm, if you don't wrap your shit low on purpose. So, I may or may not have splurged and got myself the Wolverine versions. And so when I went to Victory MMA, they all started calling me Wolverine, to the point to where Coach Aaron Pete, shout out Coach AP, fucking legend. He'd be like, "Hey Logan, come show him how to do this combo." And like that became my shit, bro. Like, you hear Wolverine or Logan instead of Olin, you just kind of come in, get that fucking low crouch. You know what I mean? Fucking get fierce, get ferocious with it, get visceral. You know what I'm saying, bub?
You want to get mean? You gotta get angry. You gotta get mean.
You gotta get angry. That's probably what made me want to do the cosplay as Wolverine for Comic-Con last year and this year.
It's fitting.
So yeah, man, I feel like definitely nicknames, they bring a different kind of animal out of you, pun intended. And then after, Bobo, which interesting nickname. I don't know that would bring the animal out of me, but fuck, let's go, Joseph, aka Bobo. Right after that, we jump into the training montage for Imanol, who is an absolute beast, right? Make no mistake about it. And they mentioned that he is a Sambo champion and a black belt in judo, I believe. Like, come on. That's wild. And thanks, City Life Project. We appreciate you, man. Great show as always, boys. Love listening every week after show. Dude, Logan, yes. Let's go, Bob. Dude, a couple episodes ago on our recap show, I literally showed up to the show with my full, Logan cosplay setup because I still had the facial hair before I went to the barber, to fix it and make me look a little more normal.
Had to stretch that out as long as you could. I appreciate it. I respect it.
So, dude, what were your thoughts on the kind of dichotomy of power or comparison, if you will, between Imanol and Joseph Martinez on the on the pads, in the gym, getting the advice they were getting from their respective teams? We'll start with Imanol. What were your thoughts on Imanol on the pads?
I was worried for our boy Joe. I think going up to this point, after everything we saw and seeing how the season went, I felt like Joe had a really good chance to, like you said, make it all the way to the finals here. Has that pedigree. But Imanol is just one of those guys, man. He's one of those guys that just has something about him. The youth scared me a little bit, but once he got on those pads and you see him listening to DC and you start seeing DC getting settled in, showing him how to move, and then he quickly applies it, I thought, man, I knew he was going to have the speed difference. And then once DC kind of reconfirmed, oh, this guy can wrestle too. Oh, shit. That was kind of the extra little bit I needed to hear for me, go for the young buck. And typically I do on this show. But also watching Imanol, watch him talk to his family and just looking at him, right? He has that look, has the speed, and then he's going to come in there with the skills. And man, what ended up being maybe his Achilles heel was, can he follow a game plan? Can he execute over 15 minutes? How is he going to look? All questions we still needed answered, and we did end up getting those answers tonight. But man, Imanol's slick, man. Yeah, a fun fighter that I'm definitely gonna be keeping an eye on. You got a fan in your boy. That's how I'm feeling after watching him. What about you, man? Any big takeaways?
Yeah, man. Definitely a few big takeaways. Real quick, want to jump in the chat. Boogeyman Bugard, one of the most feared enforcers in the mid-2000s. Rest in peace. Sometimes the coach would just let him do a lap on the ice during NHL commercial breaks just to instill fear in the other team. He maybe played 2 minutes a night, but fought every night.
Legend.
That's hilarious. He also says, I think on the back foot, he was a deer in the headlights. Oh my gosh. We're going to get there. We're going to get there when we start talking about the fight. But yes, 100%, my guy. Okay. I love that you brought up the DC wrestling advice. Having had the pleasure and honor of training at AKA, I've been in the same room as DC. He's given us wrestling advice. And it's some of the best advice as far as transitions and grappling I've ever received in my life. I'll take it to the grave. But I wish he would have taken it a step further. And maybe he did, and production cut some of that out, that exchange. But I would say, he said, don't keep your head so high on the outside when you're shooting for the double leg, because that's an easy guillotine, right? You don't want to give him that guillotine. He's got a good guillotine. What he didn't say is that he was at least 6 inches too high on that shot. If he's going to get that double, you want to sink low. You want to have your knee almost touch the ground, sometimes even touch the ground. and then you dig your toes into the fucking sand, drive forward, and jackknife into their body with your head on the outside, and then turn outside. Like, if you don't get low enough, if you don't have that low sense of gravity, they will sprawl on you every time. And that's why Imanol got sprawled on every time in this fight for the most part. He was too high on his shots and too far on the outside. He needed to set them up better. He needed to penetrate the guard better and then shoot. And he simply didn't do that. But on the pads, I was worried, bro. He looked fucking good. He looked really good on the pads. And then, of course, right after that, we had the tearjerker moment. You know what it is, bro. You know what it is.
Of course, man. Right in the feels. Hits you right in the feels every time. Every single time.
They let these finalists or semifinalists call their families, mi familia. And then, you know, everyone just, it's a tearjerker, bro. You got guys talking to their significant others, talking to their mamas, their dads. Some talking to extended family because they don't have a dad. Like, it's tough, bro. And these are the moments, especially, that I think TUF excels in, right? Because they humanize the fighters on a significant level, and they make people want to cheer for them. They make people want to love them. This is why Rose Namajunas became such a big star. This is why Rashad Evans became such a big star. Like, this is why all of the TUF alum that we've seen rise to the top, like the cream of the crop, brother. Like, this is why they've become household names. It's because they've had a chance to. They've had a chance to tell their story, not just through their fits, but through their mouths, through their love, their kindness, their hobbies. Like, how many times have you seen that clip of fucking Bryce Mitchell randomly making a bow and arrow in the backyard of the TUF house? Like, dude's interesting as fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we knew it long before he decided to have an episode of a podcast and then cancel it after the second one.
That's a Bryce move right there.
Brother, it is definitely a Bryce move. But man, like, it is what it is, right? Speaking of is what it is, this fight was something special. And right after all of the touchy, you know, lovey-dovey stuff that we get every episode like this, we jumped right into the fight. And boy, was it something special. I'll go ahead and take the lead on the first round, and then we'll toss it back and forth going into the next two rounds here. So, incredible body work from Imanol to start off the first round. I thought, man, my boy Joseph is in trouble, and I wholeheartedly would tell you, I had Joseph going into this fight. I was like, he's more experienced, he's more well-rounded, he should be the better fighter. I'm just not 1,000% about that right now. We'll see. But I digress, man. This guy came out and started landing body shot after body shot. And after he landed, I think 4 or 5 body shots that I counted that were pretty significant, Joseph eats one of them, rears back, and just goes boom down the pipe with a right cross. And right after he lands that right cross to the head, he gets a well-timed takedown. Gets the body triangle. Imanol follows direction very well, trying to defend. But the issue is, every time he's following the direction in the right way, Joseph switches sides of the body triangle, making him have to work twice as hard and go back in the opposite direction. He did this multiple times, right? And Imanol ended up getting top position with 40 seconds left. And that lasted about 15 seconds. So I think it was like 3 minutes of control time to maybe 15. And realistically, it was pretty back and forth on the feet. I thought this was a pretty easy to score round in favor of Joseph Martinez. Nato, what were your thoughts on round one?
I definitely agree with you there. Leading into it, or at least how it started off, man, and it was interesting to me because every fight, it feels like they're going out and they're just like almost Max Holloway pointing in the center of the octagon and just laying out their best 5, 6, 10 punch combinations on each other. But this one was a little bit more measured, which I thought was interesting. Both these guys, I think, showed high fight IQ in terms of, hey, be patient, find my mark, and they're getting a feel for each other. You know, the stakes are higher now. Semifinals here. It's a chance to get to the live finale. So you don't want to with all due respect, blow your load too early there. So I appreciated seeing the patience. And Imanol was first to get to his marks. He was faster. The way he was able to move in and out, I thought, man, like if he can continue like this, it's gonna be really hard to get a hold of. And Joe, he didn't overextend himself. He stayed patient, try to stick to his 1-2s. Like you said, he was getting ripped. But man, I mean, it's like this guy's jumping into space. He's ripping you, then he's jumping right out of space again. It's like Houdini. He's there, then he's not. So I think Joe's just, you had to pick his battles. And it's like a lot of other sports, you set the tone. You have like your go-to play, right? You're preparing for it all week. Usually longer in the UFC, but in this case, maybe it's a few days or whatever it is. And it's like, hey, I know I'm going to throw this 1-2 combination, change levels, and go for the takedown and get it to where I want. Even though he was saying I'm going to knock him out, all this stuff. It's like, I think he got an early glimpse of how fast, how hard he was hitting him, especially to the body. Don't want to keep it in that realm. So he got to his mark, and it felt like he almost did it when he knew he was in his corner or close to his corner, because he sure enough got the takedown. Imanol's close to the fence, and then you see Chael and all them right there coaching him up. You see the body triangle finally slip in, and then it was just you want to see more damage, you want to see more ground and pound, but Joe was smart, and Imanol's a strong son of a gun. A lot of hand fighting. It was entertaining, definitely entertaining. I just was hoping to see a little bit more from Imanol. Like you said, a day late, $1 short. But man, I mean, the speed was very prevalent. And Joe is tough as nails. I give him props for laying in there and didn't really slow down. And I mean, he took a couple shots. I thought, man, I don't know if a lot of people, they may be a little wobbly.
Joe fights like I sparred back in the day. If I'm being honest, like when I know that I'm down on speed, I'm just hunchback of Notre Dame, ducking down, so that way I can cover my face and my body quite a bit. Especially if they're digging those fucking body shots like Imanol was. I'm down here. And then I'm going to eat one or two and just boom, fucking land, brother, down the pipe. Like, I will make you not want to come in. And that's how you take away a speed advantage, because you then get a brain advantage, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think I'm articulating it very well. But if I tag you every third hit that you throw and my shots sting, you think more before you come in, which takes a little bit off of your speed. Even if it's a fucking 18th of a second, it multiplies every time I make that exchange happen. And then it becomes a battle of attrition. And with all due respect, I'd put my wood against a lot of people's wood when it comes to a battle of just kind of duration. Like, I'll take the damage, bro. I've done it all my fucking life. So I feel like Joseph very, very similar. Like, he's down there, he's in the pocket. He's like, all right, cool, let's fucking go. Boom. All right, cool. You again. Let's go. Let's take turns. I'll eat 3, you eat 2 all day. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. You just fucking landed, bro. Like, you're flowing at that point. And a lot of times when he was eating these shots, even the ones that looked like they were damaging him, make no mistake about it, big talk, the body shot sucked. Like, I may piss blood tonight after watching that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was tough, big dog. But I mean, in terms of, I don't know. I mean, in terms of the headshots, like, he was rolling with a lot of those that looked like they were hurting him, like the Diaz. Like, when Diaz was eating those shots from Conor McGregor, like, it looks like it hurts, but like, it's Hollywood almost, right? Like, you're moving your shit with it. So that shit just looks like it lands. I'm WWEing you right now. It didn't even hit. It just looks good, silly folks.
I don't say that.
Hey, you don't say that. You don't say that. WWE is the realest sport on the planet, dude. I swear to gosh.
A lie.
Dude, I saw a dude get hit in the head with a chair. It's fucking as real as it gets, dude.
I seen it.
I seen it. I know you seen it. I seen it too. We were just there. So yeah, with that being said, folks, we got to get into round number 2. And look, we're approaching the 30-minute mark. We got like 15 of you guys in here. We appreciate each and every one of you. Now's the part of the show where we ask you to like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell for notifications, all of those things on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, X, anywhere else, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're watching. If you could do us a huge favor and come on over to YouTube just for a brief moment, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. It would just mean the absolute world to us, and it would truly help the channel grow And if you've ever watched an episode, you know we're all about keeping on going and keeping on growing, folks. So if you could help facilitate that for us from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. It would truly mean the world. And on that note, I've got a shot poured up. I'm going to do one.
You know you don't do them alone. It's a
Let's
rhetorical
go,
question, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's
that
go.
was a rhetorical question.
And if you're drinking tonight, may you drink with us. If not, that's fine too. We just are happy to have you in our presence and have you enjoying the evening with us after this beautiful episode of TUF. So, bye, guy. Salute to you, to the people, and to keep it on going and keep it on growing. Cheers.
Salute.
The Gustav. Now, jumping into the second round. Man. It was a hell of an interesting round, that second one. But I said I'd let Nano go first, so that I will. Let's hear
Thank
it.
you, brother. I'll keep it short and sweet. That second round was interesting. We talked about it a little offline, so I'll let the people know. I thought Imanol won. Short and sweet. I thought he did enough on the feet. He hit Joe with some hit Bobo with some really heavy shots. Bobo didn't like that, but he stayed in the pocket and he stuffed a lot of the takedowns throughout the round. I know what y'all are thinking. You're saying, hey, Bobo took him down, controlled him for a little while. Didn't necessarily pummel him or anything, but he was in the driver's seat. And if I'm being honest as well, Imanol did kind of fade like halfway through that second round. And I thought, oh no, the wheels are falling off here. He might just pass out. He's, oh gosh, I'm tired. Dang it. He emptied the tank. We suck again. But I was rooting for Imanol, so I think my rose-colored lenses, or whatever the expression is, my beer goggles made me think that Imanol might have got the better end. But MMAnomaly, you beg to differ. Tell the people how you felt about that second round.
Man. I'll be honest. When it came to the second round, I thought Imanol led the dance for the first 58 seconds, and it looked like he was about to just absolutely dominate. I was worried. I was scared. I was all the things. But then right after that 58-second mark, I believe, is when it happened, when it all went wrong. He just got taken down by a beautifully timed double leg. It was perfect, man. And then what happened next was actually what surprised me more than the takedown. Because after Imanol came out there, he was up top, switching levels. He was changing things up quite a bit. And then he gets taken down. I'm like, fuck, here we go again. He's about to get control for the next 4.5 minutes. But he jumps back to his feet very, very quickly. Surprised me. I think the takedown maybe lasted like 15 or so seconds. But then, again, this is exactly what I alluded to. It's funny because I like subconsciously was like taking notes and sending them to myself throughout the fight. And then I went on that tangent about how you slow people down in sparring, like just having flashbacks. I essentially wrote something similar here. I basically said every time Imanol waits, Joseph lands, and it's like the speed advantage doesn't exist. I literally typed that. So that's hella funny, like full circle moment. Yeah, like it's like as soon as he thought the takedown was coming, which for me, like I wouldn't threaten the takedown, I would threaten power in my shots. And then, you make people hesitate when they have that speed advantage. Somebody's threatening a takedown on you, it's the same thing because you're coming in, you can come in and ha. But as soon as you get to the second ha and that, they're wrapped around one of your legs, maybe two of them. Either way, have your work cut out for you and are maybe going for a ride. So he slowed down quite a bit in that second round. And then 3 minutes in, Joseph started mixing in shots to the body. And I mean, it was nasty work. Once he started landing shots to the body, he quickly was able to shoot down and get a quick double leg. Easy work. And then as they work back to their feet, there's about 20 seconds left and a huge 3-4 lands for Joseph. Like probably the two most significant strikes of the round. And they landed right after Imanol had gotten up. And then in between rounds 2 and 3, I love the advice from Mason Fowler to fucking Martinez. Sorry, I was blanking on his name. I wanted to make sure I remembered Mason Fowler's name so much that I forgot the actual fighter's name, Joseph Martinez. So he was saying, like, hey, next round, I really want you to focus not so much on getting the body triangle or going after the submission. I just want you to focus on, if you get the takedown, just staying on top. Staying on top, getting a good look. And then, of course, going into the third round, that didn't necessarily happen. Imanol comes in on a mission, gets in deep on a single leg, lifts Joseph's leg, completely elevates it. Joseph somehow defends. I think, oh my God, he's done it. He's not going to be taken down by this guy, Imanol. And out of nowhere, Imanol just chain wrestles like a young Chael Sonnen himself and gets not only to controlling position, but to a back controlling position. He controlled the last round for about 4 minutes. Like I didn't have a whole lot to say on this. He hunted for submissions. None of them really looked deep, except for maybe the one rear naked choke he got with, like, I think a minute left in the round. But again, very, very well defended from Joseph Martinez. And then after 4 minutes of control, he gets swept and ends the fight on the bottom. And that's the tale of the story for me, man. Nano, what were your thoughts on that third round, and who did you score it for? I think it's an obvious answer.
Yeah, I think I was leaning Imanol at this point. I thought he did more in the third to at least edge it out, like you mentioned. I mean, you painted a great picture there. But even to your point, I think the way it ended, just him getting reversed and Joe ending up on top, still in the back of my head, kind of confirmed, like, yeah, I think he lost the battle, but he's winning the war, for lack of a better phrase. Looked like he felt pretty confident, and it did feel like I would just, if you're Imanol, man, like, yeah, he added some opportunities. At least it would have looked like, I don't think the chokes were really that deep, but it's like, man, you would have loved to see a heroic finish or, you know, something where he comes back and wins. But yeah, man, it was a great third round. It was a great fight all in all. I think both guys were tested. Imanol, we found out what his gas tank looks like. I think was stalled out a little bit, but it's tough. All that wrestling, man, is, if you're not used to it and you're in Vegas, a little bit of elevation, it's dry out there. I mean,
fatality.
Yeah, fatality. Well said, brother. And then Joe, I mean, Mr. Martinez, Bobo, he's a dog, brother. He's got that in him. He was able to weather the storm. He took some heavy shots, he delivered some shots. He was very opportunistic. He stuck to the game plan. At the end of the day, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I will say, though, even as it's ending, Chael kind of scared me. Or not, I mean, maybe scared you. I kind of got me excited when he's like, you know, when you think you have the first 2 rounds and then you coast in that last round, he's like, sometimes that's not the right strategy. But then in my head, I'm like, oh, is he going to lose? Like, did he truly let up? No, I think it was pretty obvious. Even Dana saw it that way. It makes sense. But what a fight, man. What a good performance. And you feel bad after, man. You see the crash, you see the emotions and everything. Like, and I like to see some of the other guys, I think, homie in the other weight division picking up Imanol, like, hey, primo, or like, hey, niño, it's okay. That just reminded me of Daniel Cormier when they were weighing up saying, let's go, papa. Let's go, papa. I thought that was so funny. To lighten the mood a little bit. But yeah, man, it was a hell of a performance. Can't wait to see our boy Bobo in the live finale. And guess what, y'all? If you are excited to see him and you want to hear more about him, we'll be breaking him down live. Do we have the dates confirmed? Is that locked in already? Or
it's not locked in.
Okay. But we'll on the horizon, y'all.
But yeah, hey, maybe that'll be our first watch along that we do with the Jive Turkey here, because it's going to be on a UFC card. Ooh. If we can schedule that, that'd be sick.
Yeah, August this month's depending on how this month looks. If it's within the next few weeks, because they have one more episode and then, well, I guess they have to schedule it out, right? Or is it going to be in 2-3 weeks? Needless to say, I'm going to be out of town in a couple weeks. But other than that, we'll make it happen.
We'll have to see. We'll have to play it by ear. Yeah, we'll definitely have to play it by ear. But man, I gotta say, one more thing that really stood out to me that I thought was hilarious was I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 minutes into the round. Imanol's on top. He's controlling. He's hunting for submissions, or maybe not on top, but he's got the body triangle and he's hunting for submissions. He's in control. And Chael yells, is he killing time here, or is he actually in trouble? And Mason Fowler's like, a bit of both.
A little bit of both, I'm being honest. Fair. That's good coaching. I think it's both.
My favorite thing is Mason Fowler and DC are actually boys. And he said the only reason that he went and coached for Chael's team is because he didn't get called by DC.
Hey, did you think...
and so... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was say on that. Well, no, finish your thoughts. I have a question after. I was
going to say, so Mason Fowler literally was talking to DC on the weigh-in show like a couple weeks ago. And he's like, DC's like, man, how you gonna do me dirty like that, bro? Like, you're supposed to be my boy. Like, we've done wrestling camps together and shit. Like, come on. You're on Chael's team? This is my first time getting to talk to you about this shit. Like, come on. Like, why did you do that? And he's like, because you didn't call me. And he's like, oh, okay. So Chael called you. And he's like, no, I called him when I found out that you guys were doing the season and you didn't call me. What a fucking baller, bro.
Legend. How'd you for dinner? Fish tacos.
He's like, you didn't call me, bro. So Chael called you? No, I called him. That was cold.
That's pretty cold. That's pretty cold-blooded. Damn. Cold-blooded. And I wonder if that's why DC was getting so fired up, man. You hear him, and then you see him. I was going to ask about the fence grabbing, if you thought that was significant. DC, that's 2 times. That's 2 times. I'm like, is this a pickleball fault line type situation, or
the pickleball thing was so obnoxious, bro?
That was crazy.
That was wild. Picklegate up in this mug. No, dude, like I didn't even think he grabbed the fence. His hands were open. His palms were touching the fence, not his fingertips.
I mean, he did get slammed into it, but it was not.
But like his fingers slid down. He didn't grip at any point in time. Yeah. That's legal. This is legal. You can't grip the cage with your fingers. You can open hand touch the cage. People do that shit all the time.
As you're getting slammed into it, you're getting tackled, and you're like in, like it's a wall. You're gonna
chat.
Oh no,
who knew? No, like seriously, bro. Like you can, like you just can't grab the cage. It's the same thing with like your feet. Like they teach you how to do sweeps and reversals by kicking off the cage, by planting your foot on the cage and then kicking, rolling off. You just can't wrap your toes in that shit. That's cheating. You can't wrap your fingers in that because then you're climbing up the cage. But you can, like, there's a difference between climbing up the cage and walking up the cage with your hands or your back. WMC said, are Chael and DC going to have some type of challenge / competition at the end of the season? They already did. They did a pickleball challenge. I don't know if you saw that, but it was terrible. Chael didn't understand the rules until like 3/4 of the way through the game. And DC was trying to pick a fight with not one, but 2 referees. Both women. It was wild. It was a wild sight.
It's a tough watch. Yeah, it's a tough watch.
It was, dare I say, a tough talk on that Tuesday.
Yeah, in terms of end of the season, I mean, we do know we're getting some sugar. The sugar Rashad, baby. Rashad Evans is coming on the show. But other than that, I don't know if we're going to see any other competitions, though it would be nice. I don't think so, though. It would be nice to see a little closeout, but we are going to see a good fight. That I do know.
Yeah, I wasn't clear on the rules here. I thought that if I tapped, he won the round. I didn't realize that meant he won the fight. So I tapped and I thought, yeah, I'm up 4 rounds. This is fine. Yeah.
You got this one. That's not good.
It's a classic Chael moment. Chael moment. I still can't believe he said while we were at International Fight Week that he's on more juice than a Tropicana factory. That's the best line of the week.
Yeah. He ain't lying.
Oh man, he looks in such good shape during this season. Like he looks like he's in fighting shape right now.
Oh yeah,
he could probably win the heavyweight Bellator strap.
He wasn't moving that well in pickleball. That I do know. So
that's fair. That's fair. I think he didn't want it in pickleball. You know what I'm saying? He probably just went and paid his fighters the money that they lost out on.
Yeah. But with everything on the line, he might
paid
be able to do it.
$12.5K for a fighter missing weight by 7 pounds.
There you go.
Fucking guy.
Classic.
That was great by Jeff Cretin saying to, what was it, last week or week before, to his girl, like, I'm coming home with some money. No matter what, I'm coming home with some money. Because he got that 12.5K from Chael.
That's sick. Yeah. I'm saving that, baby.
I mean,
That's
dude,
big,
City
man.
Life Project said it earlier. $2,000 for a fighter on a regional scene is big money. 12.5K, brother, you just won 15 fights.
Yeah.
You just won 15 fights.
Yeah.
That's sick.
You got
as
a
fuck.
lot. Yeah, that's solid right there.
This motherfucker lost his fight last week. Will not make it into the finale. And he is the highest paid fighter on the roster of the season. Don't sound so bad.
Let me put it that way.
Motherfucking perspective is a hell of a drug, brother.
Right, you are.
Want some of this perspective?
A little piece of humble pie with it. Come on.
You know what I'm saying, brother? If they fought in MMA, who wins? Wait, who are you talking about? Chael versus DC?
I think so. And
Today? DC's 350 pounds, I think, brother. Like, I say that as a DC fan and friend. I mean, what's that British rapper, Big Shaq? I don't think you got the facilities for that, big man.
facilities for that. Fair.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Chael Sonnen fought DC today, right now, I think whoever is a really, really high-end hip replacement doctor wins, because he's going to get 2 paychecks from 2 gentlemen from 1 fight. I genuinely think so. No weight limit. I mean, that doesn't matter. I think.
Yeah, they're not cutting.
All right.
But Chael is Tropicana Factory right now, so I don't know if DC is.
Daniel Cormier age. He's 46.
Chael's gonna be probably older.
He's 48.
Yeah.
But he is connected at the vein to the Tropicana Juice Factory.
Oh
man. With that being said, DC's probably still got 100 pounds on him. I'm taking DC. I just think he gets on top of him.
Yeah. He's a better wrestler. That's probably where it's going to end up being anyways.
And Chael's not got one-shot knockout power, so I'm taking DC all day here.
That's a good thought. I like that. It's fun.
It just makes sense, you know? Like the bigger guy, stronger man. Like, I don't know. I think DC takes it. All right, folks. With that being said, we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. This has been TUF Talk. I can't wait to break down next week's episode. It is the season finale. And I couldn't be more stoked. WMC said he'd take Chael. Well, if that's the case, I hope they fight, because I'll take that bet, my friend. I'll take that bet. And we appreciate you for being here, WMC and City Life Project, and anyone else that's watching on the replay. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what your thoughts were on this week's episode of TUF and this week's episode of TUF Talk. Let us know your thoughts. How can we do better? I mean, what are we already doing well? Either way, we're always seeking to improve. And as always, if you do none of the above, if you do nothing we've asked you to do before, do these next 2 things, folks. We ask that you keep on going and that you keep on growing. And we'll see you next time. Let's go.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.